Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to all. So here for today we have Fatini Hidayah, me, Atirah Azahari and Afiqah Bahirah. And can you please introduce yourself first?
Okay, hello everyone. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Akila. You guys can call me Akila. I'm 24 years old and currently just graduated degree which is English for International Communication. So right now I'm still unemployed searching for jobs. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So for today's topic is about online friends. So as we all know, online friend is a relationship that we develop through internet. Since you have an experience having a lot of online friends, so let me jump into our first question, which is can you tell us the reason what makes you venture into finding online friends? Is it because online friend can offer something that friendship in real life can't offer?
Well, for me, actually, it wasn't really intentionally searching for online friends. Like, for me, when I went to like social media, we all have Twitter, Facebook, and uh, my online friends actually started when I was using Tumblr. So in Tumblr, it's like a blogging platform. So there I get to know a lot of people, and then we don't actually communicate in Tumblr, but I actually connect with them such on social media such as on Twitter. So actually it's like intentionally when I follow one of them on Tumblr and then I feel like interested to make friends with them. So I ask for their other social media such as Twitter. So actually we started talking on Twitter. So for me, I'm not really searching for it, but it's just something that I think naturally happen when we all are having social media. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the next question, which is platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, online gaming, and Omegle are famous for initiating online friends. Based on your experience, can you tell us what are the platform that you usually use when you making online friends, and why did you choose that platform?
Um, Platform usually for me, I actually went mostly on Twitter, and just now like I just remember it. Yeah, Omegle. I actually went to lot went to Omegle more to find online friends. I mean, most of my online friends came from there, from Omegle. And for Twitter, I think because it's very simple and you don't really have a chat box that you need to chat with them all the time. You have the option like you can just reply to their tweets and maybe get into their inbox. So I think for me, I went to that kind of social media because I think it's simpler. And for Omegle, actually, it's like you randomly chat, you randomly talk with other people. So um, your Omegle to be compared with Twitter, of course, it's much more simpler. The interface, you just went to the website and you can you have options such as video or text chat. So I usually went for a text chat and yeah, you just connect and talk, and then if you don't feel like talking anymore, you just disconnect and then next person. So for me, I went for the simpler kind of interface such as Twitter and all.
Yes, Twitter. We usually use Twitter when we are connecting with our online friends. So back to our question, which is during this pandemic in particular, have you significantly made more online friends compared to pre-pandemic times?
I think during this pandemic, I don't make any online friends actually because even though we don't really have face-to-face interaction with our friends, we can't really go to school, we can't really see each other to meet each other. Even though it's like that, I don't seek for online friends because mostly I think I can cope better being at home just with my family and with the current friends that I have. So with the current friends that I have, I just texted them or have a video call. So yeah, I would say that significantly I don't find any online friends at all compared to the before pandemic situation.
Okay, and for the next question, what are some of the most interesting conversation that you have exchanged with your overseas online friends?
The most interesting I would say was the one from Tumblr, and then we went to have a talk on Twitter, and it happened when I was uh, 15. It happened when I was 15, and then actually when I was 16, I had to go into boarding school. So even though I have my online friends on Twitter, like in boarding school, you don't really use smartphones or laptop, so you can't really go online. So whenever I get the time to went online, and it's like the conversation became very emotional. It's more like you are catching up, and the friend that I had, and my online friend at that time, he was a Japanese, so he was very curious with the boarding school system in Malaysia too. So I spent quite a lot of time explaining to him about our school system. So I think that was the most interesting, just because we can't really communicate that much, but then when we can communicate, yeah, that's the thing that make it become interesting.
And for the next
Okay.
question is Bahirah.
Thank you, Atirah, for conducting the first question. So, moving on to the next question. Researchers such as Tian Q 2011 found that more time spent online is concerning since it will reduce the interaction with family and friends, leading to isolation and loneliness. Did you ever experience loneliness along the process of making online friends? Like, what is stated in this finding?
I think that's a very interesting finding from a research because I I don't really feel the loneliness because I don't really spend that much time on smartphone, on laptop, especially since the time when I made friends with my online friends, I was still at school and I don't really have a permanent access to smartphone or laptop. So I I spend significant time on it, talking with my online friends, but I don't find it made me became lonely or depressed because At that time, I was happy with my environment, happy with the people around me. So actually, I just went to talk with my online friends just because I wanted to know more about them and about the country that they live in, especially because we were in different countries. So for me, that finding doesn't occur to me. But I also find it sometimes that I did felt a bit lonely, and then I seek for them. But that the situation of talking to your online friend itself, it doesn't make me feel became more lonely, and it doesn't make me isolate from my friends, from my family. But it does occur to me that when I feel a little bit lonely, so I went online and talked to them. Yeah.
Okay. And then for the next question, how long have you been in contact with one of your online friends?
I think the longest would be I think particularly with this one friend, he's from Japan. So I was in contact with him when I was 15 till 17, and then we lose contact because I don't use Twitter anymore, and I don't think I ever told him that I'm not using Twitter anymore. So really thought it's for me. It occurs to me that the connection just ended that very abrupt. Like I don't even realize it. I don't even remember it. But then I did get in contact with him back last year actually because um I was using Twitter again, and then I kind of found his username. So I went to his inbox and talked to him like, how's how are you doing? How are the pandemic happening in your country? So I would say that was the longest. It would be like 1 year and a half, and then now that recently we get reconnected. So yeah, I get it.
So it's great that you get to reconnected back with your friends. So can we actually know what are one of the reason that makes you feel to contact with him again? Like that, does it make you comfortable, or are you not feeling afraid or suspicious because you have been not in contact for long years and then you've been in contact back? So can you share with us?
For me, the reason why I contact him back just because I wanted to know how is he doing. Because I saw from his Twitter, like I saw his picture that he graduated, and then so I would like to know like is he working now and all, and I don't feel suspicious or uncomfortable because I have never really shared any personal details with him, so there's nothing that I'm afraid of. But yeah, I do feel comfortable. I do feel comfortable contacting him back. So it's just very a good feeling to contact him back.
So, and to the next question. According to Dunbar 2016, the time you invest in any relationship determines the strength of relationship, which includes friendship. In your opinion, is it safe to say that online friendship are solely reliant on the amount of time you contact those friends and loses its charms once you don't contact them as much as before? So, is it true in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it does relies on the time spent when we are talking with our online friends, because um that is like the only time that we get to talk to them, because we don't really meet them face to face outside of the virtual online life that you have. So I think, but for me, it does, the time spent when you were talking with your online friends, it does strengthening your friendship too. But at the same time too, like for example, my situation, I had lost contact with him, but it when we connect back, it doesn't feel awkward. It doesn't feel that our friendship has changed. It doesn't feel that I don't believe in him anymore. It does feel the same, I guess. But we had a lot of um it's just that we had a lot to catch up back. But I think, yeah, it's not really a problem when you lose contact with your online friends, because actually, if you guys are not talking with your online friends, like constantly not chatting with them, if you just follow them on their social media, we still get to see them. So in my opinion, um when you lost connect, it doesn't really affect your friendship strength. But yeah, it might vary, because some people would rely more on the time spent when they were talking with their online friends.
Yes, I think I will also agree with your opinion just now. So continue back with the question. So we have the question that said, maintaining friendship over time can be hard. So based on your own experience, do you think online friendship have longevity?
Um, yeah, maintaining that friendship itself is hard. It doesn't really matter when you are online or when you are with your face-to-face real life friends. But then I think it doesn't really affect that much, because like when, like I've mentioned, when I lost connect with my online friend, I still I, I still can pretty much ask him what he has been up to and how's his life. So actually, I think as long as you communicate with each other, it doesn't really matter um the time and what you have lost. But it also kind of depend on how deep your friendship is, because let's say you have just been talk with each other for just only 1 month, so and then when you lost connect, maybe it doesn't really have that deep friendship value. So when you lost connection, you don't really feel the same anymore. You might feel awkward, but I think it also depends on how deep your friendship is with each other, with your online friends.
So for the last question from me, can you elaborate more on the method of making online friends and how you manage to maintain this friendship? Does it have specific method or tips from you?
I think about online friendship, like for me, we share the same interests, that we share the same liking. Like we make friends because of uh we share the same interests with K-pop artists, let's say. So yeah, so we get to know each other through our interests on K-pop. So when we were talking, we actually talk a lot too about about K-pop, like about the issues, about the celebrity, about what's the new drama going on, what's the new movie going on. So I think it's important when you have the same interest, because when you don't really have it, it might be difficult for you to have a conversation, because you are only talking online, you're only talking with the screen, so you don't really have that um concrete physical connection. Like let's say when uh we were talking with our friend face to face, like we can see their face, we can see their emotion, their gesture, their tone. So that also affect how with online friendship. But when with online friend, we just talking with screen. So um like with our typing, we need to use a lot more of emojis too. And yeah, I think it's really important that you have the same interest, so that you know what you can talk about, so you can communicate, so you have uh one thing that connect you guys to have that friendship. So, and also, yeah, communication is important actually, because when you don't communicate, you might lose interest with each other, you might lose interest with the friendship. But in my case, it doesn't happen when we lost connect. But then I think the communication part is really important, and it will be great if you have the same interests with your online friend, because then there will be a lot more that you can talk about. Yeah.
So thank you for answering the question. So we are going to move on to Fatini.
Alright, so for this portion, it will be a little bit more factual. So the first question is, according to Henderson S. and Gliding M, they stated that because of the privacy of virtual worlds, transactions made over the internet became more suspicious than those that are conducted in person. So, what would you do to avoid your information getting misused by suspicious people on the internet?
Yeah, I think nowadays we have come to that concern of our personal details are being used by other person, when other person are using our details to scam other people, to catfish other people, other person are using our profile. For me, um, I think because I'm not really someone that is really active on social media so far, because I have only been active on blogging platform like Tumblr that I said, and that's where I found my online friends. So in social media, you have to do a lot of sharing, like your pictures, your videos, even your face, and like your birthday can also be um exposed to other people, like where you live, your school, your workplace, for example. So those stuff actually are very sensitive. So what I have been doing so far, actually, I refrain myself from oversharing, especially with strangers. And I think it's important to make your social media account private, because you can choose and you have the option to whom you would want to reveal about your details. Let's say if you want to share like your pictures, so you only know certain people, you only expose these certain details with certain people. For example, on Twitter you can private your profile. So let's say strangers want to follow you, and you went to a background check, you don't really know them, and that person is very suspicious. Yeah, so you have the option to to not allow them to follow us. So I think what I do so far is to keep my profile private, even with Facebook, even with Instagram. I've only keep it private, strictly only with my friends, my family, and actually I don't really follow strangers other than celebrities. But then for other strangers, I don't really follow them unless I am the one who wanted to know about them. Like, let's say I see, oh, this guy interesting, I want to be friends with him. So yeah, I will be the first person to follow him. But then when other strangers are following me, I don't really accept them unless someone that I know. So it's important to refrain yourself from oversharing, and if you like to have your profile to be on public, then you should know how to censor stuff, like even because nowadays it gets very dangerous that people can even stalk you online, that they know where you live and all, and then they can farm you, they can be in front of your house. So I think it's very important to keep everything private on your social media.
So most of your social media accounts are set to private.
Yes, actually.
All right, that's good to know. So the next question is: have you ever had any specific bad experiences that you faced when you were developing online friendships or when you were in online friendship?
Um, it's not really a bad experience, but it's something that I felt that like I know this person online and I thought he is a guy, and but then actually he is a she. Like they this particular person, she like about her gender lah, basically. So it doesn't really have any bad effect with me, but I do feel like I do feel like macam, oh, I thought you were a guy, but then you're actually a girl. So unfortunately I don't really have any bad experience that what from what we can read online, like those people, for example, sending unsolicited pictures. But then for me, I don't really have any bad experience. It's just that I've been lied to, but not until that serious extent lah, but until only to that extent.
I can see how you can feel how unpleasant that is for you. So that connects us to the next question. According to Smart 2020, although meeting someone online could have great outcomes, it can also lead to dangerous situations. So the dangers can include like sexual predators, thieves, blackmailers, catfishes. Do you found this like very worrisome, especially for like the younger generation?
Yeah, I find it very worrisome that now recently I've just read a news about uh how adults are trying to sexually groom kids online. So it's very worrisome that nowadays these kids, especially even under 12, they can have their own Twitter, TikTok, especially. And I do think that there should be a restriction to this social media. And I know there is the restriction on this social media. For example, Instagram, you have to be 18 years old and above to have your account. But then these kids, they can lie, they can just change their birth date and such. So I think at this moment it will be the parent responsibilities to not let your children have that much freedom on the smartphone if you're going to give it to them. So I think it's very worrisome. And what we can do is, for example, let's say the parents, you want to let your children have their own smartphone. I think it's good if you can impose certain times for them to use the smartphone, or even you can even install security app software in your phone that will let you know that what kind of app your kids are using on their smartphone. And if they does and if they use those kind of social media, then I think the parents really have to uh, take a look on what they are looking at, because especially children, they don't know how scary is it, the world out there. And the adult, the predator especially, they know how easily to manipulate these children. Even not children pun, like with our age, we can be easily manipulated, we can be easily fooled, we can be easily lied. You know how this online scam, they can even do online scam just with using email and such. So it's important to impose restriction to your children, and it's also very important to educate them, especially on, yeah, if you want to let them use the internet, the social media, you have to educate them first, which part of it is wrong, which part of it is good, which part of it that you should not go, and which part of it that you should just not let your personal details, especially, to be exposed on social media.
I agree. Kids nowadays have a lot of loopholes where they can get around the internet despite age restrictions. So yeah, I agree that parents should especially take notice of this. So let's move on to question number 13. Peter Valkenburg and Shelton, 2005, found that introverts are more likely to chat online than extroverts, and as a result of that, they make more online friends. Based on this founding, why do you think that introverts have more friends online?
Hmm. Introvert, as what I've known, they are the kind of people that they don't really like any I'm not sure if they don't really like any social interaction with other people. But maybe because uh with online friendship, we don't really have to communicate with each other face to face. That you don't have to go out to meet anyone else. You are basically talking with a screen, and you're just typing. So, and I think most of the introvert, they are shy, so they don't really have to face that kind of insecurities. Let's say that you wanted to be friend with these people, but then you think she is too pretty for them, and you don't have any confidence to talk with her and such. So I think introverts tend to have a lot of more of online friends, because they don't just really have to interact face to face with that friend, because you just have to be there in front of the laptop, and there is no really judgment, because you can't see, you, at first when you were talking, you can't really see how the other person are talking, their tone, their gesture, their action, their appearance basically. So maybe you saw their pictures online, but then it doesn't really affect to your interaction lah, because basically you just have to interact with a screen, and you just have to type it up.
Do you consider yourself an introvert?
Yeah, I think I am an introvert. Like, I'm good with friends, but I don't go out seeking for social interaction. I don't go out just to go like, hello, can I be your friends? Yeah, I'm not that type of person.
All right, so the last but not least, question number 14. According to Eileen Manager 2015, in a report from the Pew Research Center, finds that 57% of teens have met a new friend online, and nearly 29% say they've made more than 5 friends in digital spaces like Facebook or via online games. So, in relation to this information, do you think that the trend of having online friendship will keep on rising in the future?
I think yes, because especially during this pandemic situation, we can't really go out and we can't really interact face to face with other people because we are very conscious of the virus. So I think it will be rising. Like let's say, during this pandemic, I went to Omegle, but I don't make friends. Like it's just that I just went to Omegle, like talk with strangers. So I'm sure it will be like that with other people too. Like especially for those who really like to communicate, especially for those who are lonely, especially if you are living alone, you're not with your family. So these people they tend to reach out to your friends, even to random stranger, let's say, because you just wanted to have a talk, because you just wanted to have someone to talk to, especially because this situation it tends to worsening your mental health. So I think yeah, the trend will keep rising, especially because most of people right now, even though we can see our friend face to face, we tend to be on social media. Even when we are with our friends face to face, we tend to go on Twitter and site. So our time are mostly consumed by the social media. So as the findings, of course, it will keep rising.
All right, that's all from me. So I'm handing back the mic to Atirah.
Okay, thank you, Bahirah, Fatini, for all your questions. So that is all for our interview session for today, and I would like to thank you to Akila for participating this interview and for agreeing to let us interview you. Thank you for your time and cooperation, and I hope that you will. I hope you the best in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
your